In the headlines, Supreme Court reserves judgment on 2022 Electoral Act. Bandits kill Niger State PDP delegate. President Buhari leaves Abuja for African Union Summit in Equatorial Guinea. Away from Nigeria, Russian forces shell dozens of towns in Donbass region. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. The Supreme Court on Thursday reserved judgment in the suit filed by President Muhammadu Buhari and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to void provisions of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022. On May 19, the Apex Court admitted an application filed by Rivers State to be joined in the suit. Justice Musa Dattijo, who led the 7-member panel of justices of the Apex Court, allowed the joinder application that Rivers brought through the Speaker of its House of Assembly and its Attorney General, and adjourned the hearing on the suit until May 26. The applicants told the court that they were opposed to the suit, which originally had the National Assembly as the sole respondent. President Buhari and Malami filed a suit at the Supreme Court seeking an interpretation of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Amendment Act 2022. They are seeking an order of the Apex Court to strike out the section of the Electoral Act, saying it is inconsistent with the nation's constitution.
Coming as invoking the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, and that has a stipulation that is provided for. It has a niche upon the persons who can bring such actions. So we realize it is not, we are not part of those persons who the Constitution has provided and the Supreme Court Original Jurisdiction Act has provided for. So the essence of us withdrawing is for, we've seen that parties like Rivers State have joined and other parties have joined. They are also included in the Original Jurisdiction Act. So with that, our withdrawal is just for an easement in the dispensation of the case.
We as MBA, we have done our duty to Nigerians, which is our obligation to ensure that we protect the rule of law in Nigeria. What we have done today is that in the discussion of this matter that affects Nigerians, at least the Nigerian view should be heard.
Is that the appeal has been argued, and the court has adjourned to such a time that they will notify us. At this point, we don't know when the judgment will be given. But I think that the matters are very straightforward, as you all heard while you were inside the courtroom. So I do not really come out to go and start arguing my case before the press.
You don't jump. When the decision comes, then you decide what to do with it. And in any event, don't forget, the decision or the declaration that the president is seeking is not for his own personal interest. It's not contesting any election. So, and also, it is also for the future. It's both for the present and for the future. So, but when we get to that bridge, we will cross it.
Any party can bring any issues, any objection. It is the duty of the court to look at it and to quickly. And in that light, let me use this opportunity to salute the courage of the Supreme Court for taking and placing premium in this matter. This is the matter that started about a week or 2 weeks ago, and you can see the dedication to duty to ensure that this matter is quickly dispensed with. I'm very sure in the next few days, few weeks, though I'm not predicting them, we will certainly get to the end of this matter.
Suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari has filed a motion requesting the court to revisit his bail application. The application for the review dated May 12, 2022 was filed by his counsel, Onyechi Bazu, SAN, at a federal high court sitting in Abuja. He said it is predicated on the grounds that Abba Kyari's life is under threat. The senior lawyer pleaded to the court to consider the bill in the interest of justice and to save his client's life from being cut short. However, the prosecution counsel, Joseph Obona, opposed the application on the ground that he had not been served a copy of the application but only got a wind of it in the open court. Justice Emeka Nwite adjourned the case till June 14 to enable parties exchange necessary court processes. Absence of trial judge at Upper Sharia High Court sitting at Ofarukudu stalled hearing in the case of Abdul Jabbar Kabara. Spokesman to Sharia courts, Monzamil Adofage, told journalists on Thursday that the judge's absence is on the grounds of ill health. This is the first time the court has not sat since the arraignment of the suspect on July 16, 2021, after he was accused of blasphemous statements against the Prophet Muhammad, an action capable of inciting public outrage. According to Ado, the case has been adjourned to June 2, 2022. Recall that in the previous session, the court ordered the provision of legal representation for Abdul Jabbar from the Legal Aid Council after his lawyers quit the case on 3 occasions. Some hoodlums said to be enforcing the sit-at-home order by the indigenous people of Biafra on Thursday set a motorcycle and a tricycle, popularly known as keke, ablaze in Nsukka, Enugu State. The incident, which happened in the early hours of the day, took place at Umakashi Road by the building materials market along Urban Girls Secondary School, Nsukka, threw residents around the area into confusion and palpable fear. Shops, business centers, motor parks, banks, markets, and schools within Nsukka town did not open for the day's business. IPOB had earlier cancelled the Thursday sit-at-home order through a statement issued on Wednesday by their Media and Publicity Secretary, Ima Powerful, following the adjournment of Nnamdi Kanu's case to June 28, 2022. Governor Soludo has imposed dusk-to-dawn curfew for commercial motorcycle riders and shuttle buses and tricycle riders in 8 local government areas of Anambra State, effective from Monday, 30th May 2022. Speaking during a statewide radio and television broadcast, Governor Soludo said security is foundational in the efforts of his administration to enthrone a livable and prosperous state. The local government areas include Aguata, Ihiala, Ekusigo, Nnewi North and South, Ogbaru, as well as Orumba North and South. Governor Soludo, who stressed that the directive will be reviewed in a fortnight, ordered security officials to begin immediate enforcement of the directive, which is meant to last from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Friday, the 26th day of May, a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew is hereby placed on motorcycles, Okada, tricycles, keke, and shuttle buses in the following 8 local governments: Aguata, Ihiala, Ekusigo, Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ogbaru, Orumba North and South local governments until further notice. We will review this and say whether we then extend it to the rest of the state. But let's start with this, if you like, the red local governments. Until further notice also, motorcycles, keke and shuttle buses are banned from operating in these local governments on Mondays until the sit-at-home completely stops.
Meanwhile, the Jamaatul Nasr Islam JNI has said that it has had enough of the senseless killings of innocent people by unknown gunmen. JNI, in a statement by its Secretary General Khalid Abubakar Aliyu, condemned what it described as the barbaric and unprovoked killing of one Harira Jibrin, a pregnant woman with 4 of her children at Isolo in Orumba North local government area of Anambra State. JNI, however, stressed that the lexis of the so-called unknown gunmen is no longer tenable, saying that they are known but ignored. The organization commiserated with the families of the victims of serial killings and abductions in Nigeria and implored the federal government to live up to its responsibility of protecting lives. Youths in Kongolom border town of Mayadua local government area of Katsina State have protested the killing of Abdurrahman Amadou by officials of Border Drill Nigeria Customs Service. Worried by the incessant killings of residents in Kongolom town, the youths say that they will no longer fold their arms watching customs operatives kill innocent people. Abdullahi Amadi has details of the report.
In a state of mourning, residents of Kongolom border town in Mayadua local government area of Katsina State claimed that Abdurrahman Amadou was shot by an official of Border Drill on Friday. The victim was conveyed to Federal Medical Center Katsina, where he was confirmed dead on Sunday. The deceased is my biological son. I feel cheated. He is innocent and the breadwinner of the family. I will never forgive these killers and need the assistance of all stakeholders in ensuring justice. Residents claim Abdurrahman Amadou is the third person in his family to be eliminated by customs operatives, while the unfortunate incident brings the number of those killed in incidents like this to 90. The two killed from this family are my grandsons. They left wives and children, which I must take their responsibilities. And as you can see, I am old and getting older by the day. I need justice, no more, no less. Worried by the killings, some angry youth went on rampage, burning down some huts erected by security personnel at the border town. However, normalcy was restored following the intervention of the elders, the Galadimandaura district head of Mayadua, with the support of police in the area. There were some structures here burnt down by some angry youth following the killing of one of them by the operatives of Border Drill. It is high time to stop these killings. The victim was not in possession of anything illegal. I can confirm to you that he is innocent. While commiserating with the family of the deceased, officials of Human Rights Network of Nigeria, Katsina State, condemned the killers and promised to take the matter up with the Nigeria Customs Service. This is an institutional failure. Something very urgent needs to be done to stop this madness, at least for peace to reign in Kongolom border town. Enough is enough. A senior customs officer in Katsina who claimed anonymity told Trust Television News that the Border Drill operatives are directly answerable to the Office of the National Security Advisor. As such, the area command should not be held responsible for the killings. There are speculations that hundreds of people have been killed, all in an attempt by customs officials to stop smuggling, especially along Kongolom-Jibia corridors. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Staying with security matters, bandits have reportedly killed 3 delegates in the governorship primaries of the People's Democratic Party from Mariga local government area of Niger State. The chairman of the Electoral Committee and Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Lawrence Urujako, announced this at the State PDP Secretariat venue of the primaries in Mina. The delegates were said to have been killed on Wednesday while returning to Mariga after the party postponed the primaries due to a protest by some of the aspirants who expressed reservations with the delegates list. Delegates were thereafter asked to bring their means of identification to authenticate their names, while the primaries was shifted to Thursday. Those who lost their lives in the incident were substituted to complete the number of delegates from the local government. Now, Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Sheriff Oborevwori, has emerged winner of the just concluded PDP governorship primary election. The event, which took place at the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba, saw Sheriff poll 590 votes out of the 821 valid votes cast. Former Chief of Staff David Edevbi got 113 votes, while Senator James Manga pooled 83 votes rather.
Francis, having moved the highest vote of 590 out of 821 valid votes, is hereby declared the gubernatorial candidate of our great party in Delta State.
Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State has emerged the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the 2023 general election in the state. Announcing the result, the chairman of the PDP Electoral Committee, Gibbon Timothy Kataps, said a total of 668 delegates were accredited for the exercise, out of which 5 were voided votes. In his acceptance speech, Governor Umaru Fintiri expressed appreciation to the PDP delegates and party stakeholders for the mandate given to him to fly the flag of the party in the next year's elections. He used the forum to call on all Adamawa delegates and people to support and ensure that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerges the presidential flag bearer of the PDP in the next year's elections. The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar expressed appreciation to the delegates for giving the governor the ticket to contest for a second tenure. Governor Fintiri was the sole candidate that contested at the PDP gubernatorial primary held at Mahmoud Ribadu Square, Yola.
And the process is free and fair and transparent.
Total number of ballot papers 668. 668 ballot papers. All the ballot papers returned are 668 valid votes. Out of the 668, I will count only the voided votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Staying with politics, a former member of the House of Representatives and candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the 2019 general election, Muhammad Isa Ashiru, has won the governorship ticket of the PDP in the just concluded primary election. Ashiru, who got 414 votes, beat 5 other contenders with a wide margin to emerge winner. The report.
6 contenders participated in the keenly contested election. Their former Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Sani Sidi, who came second with 260 votes. Former Governor of the state, Mukhtar Ramalan Yero, who polled 28 votes. Sani Abbas, who polled 15 votes. Haruna Said Kajuru, who got 11 votes, and Senator Shehu Sani, who got 2 votes.
Honorable Isa Ashiru, 400.
In his acceptance speech, the winner of the primary election, Isa Ashiru, who polled 414 votes, says the PDP will rescue Kaduna State from the misrule of the APC.
Our collective, genuine desire for the rescue of our state from the misrule of the APC, which has caused untold hardship to the people of the state, as evident in the terrible insecurity, joblessness, and the resultant extreme poverty, should continuously motivate all of us to work for the success of our party during the next general election.
Earlier, the chairman of the PDP in Kaduna State, Felix Hayat, said the delay experienced before the commencement of the primaries was to ensure that the exercise met the requirements of the law in order to avoid litigation.
It's a process. Election is a process, and we want to be very thorough. We don't want to leave room for anybody to have a reason to complain. We are doing accreditation, and you can see the accreditation is not taking place here. It's taking place in a different venue, And those who have been accredited, they are conveyed in a vehicle and brought here. And every aspirant is having an agent there at the accreditation center. So once they do it, they will bring it here. And the process of accreditation is cumbersome if you want to do a thorough job, that you will not attract unnecessary litigations.
Lami Sadiq for Trust TV News.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. How retiree takes to wood chopping to survive. Details and more after the break. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Here's a reminder of our top stories again. Supreme Court reserves judgment on 2022 Electoral Act. Bandits kill 3 Niger State PDP delegates. Now moving on, the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria has raised alarm over the refusal of some state governments to settle several months of salary and other emoluments owed workers, especially Abia and Ondo State. The president of the association, Victor Makonjola, who read the communique issued after the NEC meeting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, stated that there is the need to increase retirement age of health workers as part of efforts to stop mass exodus of Nigerian doctors to other countries. Makonjola called on government at all levels to increase funding for healthcare, especially the secondary level, and encourage them to prioritize allocation of resources for infrastructure and human capital development.
We're already beginning to feel the burden of this on those who are still in the system. And if all these steps we mentioned earlier, increasing payment, increasing remuneration of our clinical lecturers is not done, if we do not increase the retirement age of consultants in the system, more people are bound to leave the system. And we're facing an imminent collapse with regards to specialist care in the country.
Now, a 60-year-old retiree, Hussaini Yakubu, has taken to wood chopping for survival due to unpaid retirement benefits after 35 years of service. Yakubu was a typist with the Adamawa State Urban Planning and Development Service. From Yola, Salis Lawan has details.
Wood logging for a 60-year-old. This is ordinarily a no-no. But for Yakubu, this is the only option available for him to eke out a living. After his routine morning calls and family time, he treks over 2 kilometers to meet potential customers that will patronize him at the end of the day. Upon arrival, negotiations start and agreement is reached. It is draining for his age, but this is the only available option for him. After delivering on his task, Hussaini receives the day's income. He tells Trust TV how long he has been into this trade.
Wani lokaci aikin nan to akwai takaici wani lokaci.
There is no enough time. This trade of mine is hard because sometimes I only used to get 1,000 naira, 500 naira or 200 naira, with some days with no kobo. And you know how family responsibility is. But usually what I used to tell my family is that that's how God plans things.
Sai ba su hakuri. Su yi hakuri ga yadda al'amarin Allah yake. In Allah yayi ba boye zan yi ne. Don ni ma yanda nake son kaina haka nake son su.
At the close of every day's work, he returns home to pains in his body.
Gaskiya aiki nan kam na yi ne kawai, amma sana'a akwai sana'a ne akwai wahala.
Definitely I'm doing this trade, but it's very hard. Sometimes the client will tell me they don't make even a penny. That's how I will go empty-handed. I only depends on God, and I plead with my family and find ways to get food to eat.
Sai zo zauna, yanzu ba su hakuri to ga abin da halin da muke ciki fa ya zamu yi. Sai su nemi wani bashi ko abin da za jika mana mace da iyali.
He believes that if government pays his pension and gratuity, he will not be subjected to this kind of hard labor. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
Well, that wraps up the news update. You can watch more by clicking the subscribe button on our YouTube and also following us across all social media platforms. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching.